It was in the hushed hours of Florida dawn when a rapper, the enigmatic Julio, encountered a startling ambush. The chilling particulars of this event have set the internet abuzz with inquiries. Who orchestrated this attack, and what series of events allowed Julio to emerge from this ordeal with his life intact? Join us as we embark on a journey into the realm of true crime to unravel the story of Julio, ambushed on a dark morning. At precisely 6:30 in the morning, the world was draped into the gentle hues of an emerging day. Julio, having remained awake through the night, was now faced with an errand that couldn't wait. He briskly entered his car, his weariness taking a back seat as he embarked on a journey to a nearby store, his destination, a humble quest for a vape. In the tranquility of the morning, little did Julio know that this seemingly ordinary drive would turn into an extraordinary test of survival, the shadows of peril lurking just around the corner. What started as Julio's ordinary and uneventful drive swiftly veered into the abyss of the extraordinary. As he pulled away from the familiarity of his driveway, a sinister twist of fate loomed into the shadows. An ominous, unseen threat patiently waited its opportune moment. The world outside was veiled into the hushed stillness of dawn, its secret hidden into the darkness, concealing the impending danger that had set its sight on Julio. With each passing moment, the threads of his destiny were weaving a tapestry of suspense and foreboding. Little did Julio realize that he was approaching a pivotal juncture in his life, where the line between survival and peril blurred, leaving him vulnerable in the face of the unknown. The moments that followed were etched in chaos and terror. As Julio's car neared a seemingly innocuous stop sign, the world around him erupted in violence. Shots, like thunderbolts in the quiet morning, shattered their serenity. The sinister ambush had begun. A storm of bullets pelted Julio's vehicle, tearing through metal and glass, transforming his car into a nightmarish symphony of destruction. The assailants, concealed by the obscurity of the early hour, acted with ruthless precision. Panic coursed through Julio's veins, and the road ahead became a frantic escape route. His heart raced, and every instinct screamed for survival. He gripped the steering wheel with white-knuckled intensity, determined to put distance between himself and those who sought his demise. In this sudden maelstrom, amidst the shattered glass and the gunfire, the very essence of life hung in the balance. Julio, facing a barrage of bullets, demonstrated resilience beyond measure, seeking refuge in his sheer determination to survive. Panic and confusion swirled in the morning air like a turbulent storm. Julio's survival instincts kicked into high gear. The deafening roar of gunshots still echoed in his ears as he fought to regain control of his vehicle. Every fiber of his being was dedicated to one goal: escape. The odds seemed against his favor, but Julio's determination blazed within. Despite the chaos and the searing pain in his foot, he pressed down on the gas pedal, the car's engine roaring to life. The assailants, their faces hidden in the darkness, continued their relentless assault. Each bullet that struck Julio's vehicle was a reminder of the perilous situation he was in. The car, riddled with damage, had become a battleground, a testament to the life-or-death struggle playing out in the pre-dawn hours. Julio's driving skills were put to the ultimate test as he weaved through the treacherous streets. He knew he had to put distance between himself and the shadowy figures who sought his life. The streetlights, flickered in the early morning light, passed by in a blur as he maneuvered with both precision and desperation. In those harrowing moments, the rapper found a well of resilience he never knew he possessed. The pain in his foot was eclipsed by the burning desire to survive. He pushed forward, his car's engine screaming in protest, and the world outside a chaotic blur. As Julio fought to distance himself from the assailants, a sudden jolt of excruciating pain surged through his body. In the midst of the chaos and adrenaline-fueled escape, a bullet had found its mark, striking his foot. The pain was like a searing fire, radiating from his wounded foot. Julio gritted his teeth, struggling to maintain control of his speeding vehicle. Each passing moment felt like an eternity as he pushed himself to escape the deadly onslaught. Despite his unwavering determination, the pain in his foot was relentless. It gnawed at his resolve, making it nearly impossible to continue driving. He knew he had to act swiftly. His life depended on it. Julio's vision blurred as beads of sweat formed on his forehead. With great effort, he maneuvered his vehicle to the side of the road, his foot throbbing in agony. His heart raced, matching the adrenaline coursing through his veins. He knew he couldn't stay in the car, vulnerable to further attacks. Gathering every ounce of strength, he opened the car door and crawled out into the pavement. The world around him spun in disarray, his senses overwhelmed by the intensity of the situation. His foot was soaked in blood and the pain was unbearable, but he had to find cover. Bullets continued to punctuate the air, creating a symphony of danger. With sheer determination, he dragged himself behind his bullet-riddled car, praying for a brief respite from the relentless gunfire. In that desperate moment, Julio clung to hope, clinging to the belief that he would survive this ambush. His survival instincts were his guiding light, pushing him to find shelter and seek help. In the dim light of that harrowing morning, Julio's world had shrunk to a painful reality. Crawling out of his car, injured and in distress, he realized the dire situation he was in. Blood oozed from his wounded foot, staining the asphalt beneath him. With every excruciating inch, he made his way behind the battered vehicle, using it as a shield against the unseen assailants who had targeted him. The metallic scent of blood mingled with the acrid smell of burning rubber, creating a tableau of fear and desperation. Julio's heart pounded in his chest as he struggled to catch his breath. The world outside his shelter felt surreal, as if he had been thrust into a nightmare from which there was no escape. The first light of dawn was a distant memory as he huddled behind the car, battling pain and terror. The sound of his own labored breath was a reminder that he was still alive, that he had not succumbed to the relentless assault. In the midst of darkness, danger, and desperation, Julio clung to the flicker of hope, knowing that his survival depended on his next actions. With every passing second, he longed for a guardian angel to watch over him, to guide him out of this dire predicament. The shadows cast by the rising sun concealed the identity of his attackers, leaving him with unanswered questions that would haunt him for the days to come. Desperation clawed at Julio's throat as he faced the harsh reality that the nearby house, his beacon of hope, remained shrouded in silence. Blood continued to seep from his wounded foot, creating a trail of anguish that painted a grim picture of his suffering. His rapid knocks on the door echoed in the morning stillness, each one a plea for assistance. He called out, his voice wavering with pain and urgency, but there was no response. The occupant remained unresponsive, seemingly oblivious to the dire circumstances unfolding just outside their doorstep. Julio's mind raced, grappling with the fear that time was slipping away. He wondered whether the person inside the house was unable to hear his pleas, or if they had chosen to ignore him. His life hung in the balance, and his heart pounded in his chest as he considered his next move. The realization that he was alone in his life or death moment weighed heavily on Julio. The world beyond that door remained indifferent to his plight, and the assailants could return at any moment. With each passing second, he knew he had to make a decision, a choice that could mean the difference between life and death. Fueled by a mix of adrenaline, fear, and determination, Julio knew that his life depended on his ability to take action. The unresponsive occupant of the nearby house had left him with no choice. He had to rely on himself in this dire moment. With his wounded foot throbbing in agony, he crawled back to his bullet-riddled car, the very sight of the terrifying ambush. Summoning every ounce of strength, Julio pulled himself into the driver's seat, his face contorted in pain. Gritting his teeth, he turned the key and revved the engine. The car roared to life, ready to carry him away from this nightmare. With his heart pounding and his mind racing, Julio hit the gas pedal with the full weight of his determination. The world outside became a blur as he sped towards the hospital at a breakneck pace. The journey to the hospital was a harrowing race against time. The pain in his foot was excruciating, but he refused to yield. His life depended on reaching the hospital. As Julio's car screeched to a halt at the hospital entrance, he knew he had to take a step towards survival. Though the battle was far from over, he had faced the relentless storm head-on. Inside the cold, sterile walls of the hospital, Julio's ordeal was far from over. The medical staff was faced with the daunting task of saving his foot, and in doing so, perhaps even saving his life. His foot was mangled and fractured. 5 or 6 bones had been shattered, and the pain he endured was nothing short of excruciating. Each breath he took was a testament to his resilience and will to survive. The emergency room staff quickly went into action, working with precision and urgency as they assessed the extent of the damage. The medical team knew they had to act quickly to give him a fighting chance. Julio's life hung in the balance, and the clock was ticking. The trauma team prepared for surgery. As Julio was wheeled into the operating room, he knew that he was about to face another battle. In the following hours, the surgeons skillfully pieced together the broken bones in Julio's foot. They worked tirelessly to mend the damage caused by the fateful bullet.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you thought about this video down in the comment section below. If you like this true crime story, why not watch this story next?